All right. What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Smack. We back with another episode of Smack Talk Podcast. I know we've been going for a little while, but life, man. Life get a hold of you, and you gotta do this and do that, really back in, refocus, and get it going again. So I'm back with another episode, and we're gonna switch it up, man. Usually I've been, you know, having guests that I went to school with, been known for a duration of time, teammates, close friends, and stuff like that. But I want to introduce y'all to my partner over here, man, Joe.
What's up? What's up?
I met Joe a couple years ago when I bought my car from Cruise. And it's kind of funny how we met, man. Y'all know I'm a huge Saints fan. He a Steelers fan, but
Diehard Pittsburgh, baby. Pittsburgh.
I don't think they're going to do much this year, this upcoming.
No.
I bet you we win more games.
Oh, really? With what QB?
We got Derek Carr.
With what QB? Oh, what did he do for the Raiders?
Oh, man, don't do that. Don't do that.
Listen, man, you don't even see. We got two new wide receivers on this. We got a tight end that's like 6'9". I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. It's Steelers. I literally got a song on my phone saying Pittsburgh's going to the Super Bowl.
But that's a lot, though.
Oh man,
That's
how many rings do you guys have?
We got one, but hey,
I got 6.
Hey, but check this out. This is why the Saints Super Bowl ring is so crazy. The Saints have to go to 3 Hall of Famers. First round of the playoffs, Kurt Warner, gold jacket. Come on now. Round 2 of the playoffs, Brett Favre, gold jacket. Then Peyton Manning in the Super Bowl. Bro, I was a youngin', and I'm looking at who we gotta play to win the Super Bowl. I got faith in my team. We went on a 10-win streak, blowing teams out. But come on now, them 3 quarterbacks to get 1 ring.
That's all right.
1 ring.
That's all right. That's all right.
That's big time right there.
Hey, you're right.
That ring kind of count for like 3 of them.
Oh, okay.
At least 3. Maybe not.
All right. Listen, okay. I'll give you the Peyton Manning. Brett Favre is a choke artist. Come on, man.
Look, I'm not a crazy Brett Favre fan, especially what he did out there in Mississippi. But the dude, he a legend.
Yeah, okay.
He a legend. He a gold jacket winner.
So then you gotta admit this then too. Ben Roethlisberger, gold jacket winner.
He is, but he's not. I like Big Ben, but he's not like on the caliber with like Drew Payton and Tom and them.
He's not. He actually has more.
Yeah, he's don't. No. Wait, hold on. Are we really gonna do this?
Yeah.
Who got more? Hold on. We gonna do this, y'all. Hold on.
Because I remember straight. I seen this.
This is perfect.
It was. Ben Roethlisberger had more passing yards than most QBs.
Drew Brees total passing yards 80,358.
Okay.
Ben Roethlisberger 64,088.
Oh man. I give it that. But I will bet openly at least $20 on the table that we're gonna make it farther than the Saints.
We can bet that right now.
Deal. It's on camera.
It's on camera.
Yep.
It's on camera.
Yep.
But now so back to how I met Joe, man. I met him at Cruise. So I bought my car off the lot and straight off the lot. But
dangerous.
And obviously, I'm dressing it up with some Saint stuff, my license plates. And one of the deals was I get a car wash until the day I die, pretty much.
Yep.
If I stay at Marshall and I go to Cruise, free car wash whenever I want it, as long as the machine is working. Yo, you know what I'm talking about.
You're not wrong on that.
As long as it's working. And so when they came back, car looked good, everything was good, and I checked the license plate. It was split. My license plate was split. The Saints thing I had just bought. So, I go back in there hotter than fish grease, That's how I met Joe. Sorry, sir, we're going to take care of it. We're going to make sure I'm going to make this right for you. And I was like, okay, he helped me calm down. I'm like, all right, I trust this man. He gonna hook me up. And about 3 weeks later, had a brand new Saints plate for my license plates. all because of this man right here. So I appreciate you coming on the show, Joe.
Always, man. Always.
Appreciate you, man. Every time I go in there, we always have good conversations, man. How you doing today, dog?
I'm doing pretty good, man. Honestly, I had to work today, but it was all right. You know?
Saturday? Working on a Saturday, huh?
Yeah.
I did.
Somebody's got to do it, right? Somebody's got to do the dirty work.
Somebody got to do the dirty work. Huh? How you liking it at cruise, man?
Yeah. Obviously, I've been there for 2 years now.
2 years.
So, you know, going on like 2.5, 3 in April. It's not bad. Like I tell people, I get yelled at for a living. It's pretty much my job. You know, I mean, nobody like you when you came in all heated. That is my job, to be able to calm you down and let's make this right. What can I do to do that?
Most definitely.
And sometimes, you know, people don't like getting told, you know, what's wrong with the car and how much it's going to cost to fix it.
Yeah.
But somebody's got to do it.
You got to do it.
I know. But it ain't bad. It ain't bad.
So you rocking with it. You think you're going to stick with cruise going long? Is that like, is that a career? You going to make a career out of it? Or
I ain't planning to stay around here for that long. I'm going to be honest here. That ain't my plan at all. So my plan, right, I want to move to Pittsburgh. All right, I want to be able to go to a Pittsburgh
game. Why would you want to go there?
I want to be able to go to a Pittsburgh game at the moment's notice. Not have to pay for plane tickets. Not have to pay for hotels. Not do all that stuff. Like right now, I'm trying to decide between the Browns, the Ravens, and the New England Patriots game.
Okay.
I'm trying.
Those are the 3 games you're trying to go to this year?
Those are one of the 3. I want to go to one of them. Which one it is, I don't know yet.
Why the Browns? So they stadium do get kind of crazy.
So here's the thing: it's just a rivalry thing. So
that it does.
So I'm gonna be honest with you, Ben Roethlisberger owns the Browns. That's their dad. It ain't no. I'd say I think we're like 34-4.
Yeah, he got a good record against them.
Oh, definitely. So I've been thinking about that. So I'm like, and I'm a heated person when it comes to football. I scream at the TV. I'm like,
they know,
man.
They all know.
I'm serious, man, for real. Like that's always been a big thing for me. So. Browns is where I'm like, hey, I would love to see that rivalry. I would love to be in a crowd with a Browns fan and see how they're gonna, react with me.
Yeah.
Ravens, man,
I thought that was more of y'all rivalry. So is it really Browns over the Ravens?
It's the whole works, man. It's it's the whole
three, the Bengals,
man.
Ravens and Browns.
I'll be honest with you, the Bengals, I write my foot with them.
Joe Burrow, that's his division.
Hey, he's out. He just got out. We'll see. Jalen Ramsey got hurt too. That was one too. I was like, well, he's gonna be out to December.
I feel like he washed. I think he overrated.
Here's the thing, man. You put him in a nice place. That was what they were saying about Patrick Peterson on the Vikings, right? We just picked up Patrick Peterson on the Vikings, and him, he's literally saying that. So Joey Porter Jr., which I love him because his dad was drafted by the Steelers and retired the Steelers, and he was there when we won the Super Bowl back in 2008.
Oh yeah.
So literally, those pictures of him as a kid with his dad, as a Super Bowl in the Super Bowl stadium with everything going down.
Yeah.
Now he got drafted by the Steelers.
I did see that come through the feed.
Yep. And now he's the Steelers. I'm saying so. That's really what I'm excited about with that. But he's saying that Joey Porter Jr. and these kids, Kobe Trice and everybody, they are literally bringing this new life to him that he's thinking he's gonna have another 3 years at least. Okay. And I'm like, hey, that's. To have these kids in there, we got to have some seniority in there to be able to teach them the little things to watch for.
He's going to feed off that energy, though.
100%.
Pat P a dog. We'll see. I mean, because he had a few good games with the Vikings, but he was getting did up a little bit.
My grandfather was a New England fan, and that was one for where he has a New England Patriots leather jacket. He gave that to my dad.
Okay.
My dad's a Redskins fan. I don't know what's up with him, but he has a Redskins leather jacket.
Yeah.
And then I want to get those two are going to be handed down to me. I'm going to get a Steelers jacket and hand them down to my son.
I feel that.
So I would love to go to a Patriots game to kind of see that. Plus, the Patriots game is on mine and my wife's anniversary date.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Kind of, hitting 2 in 1 stone.
Yeah.
And she's a Steelers fan.
You made her one, huh?
Yeah, damn right. She comes from a Vikings family, so she didn't really have much to root for. So.
Oh, yeah. I know about the Vikings. We got our first Super Bowl off the board. You know what I'm saying? So, like, you being out here in, Marshall, I mean, you not in Pittsburgh yet. No. So what's holding you here? Like, obviously, I know you probably want to have a plan.
One of the biggest things was like, when I was young, I used to tell my mom all the time, like, man, the moment I'm old enough, I'm out of here. I'm gone like Donkey Kong.
Gone like
Donkey Kong. And, it was one of those situations where once I got married, I had a child, and that kind of like settled me down on things. And the house that I'm in now, we're buying. We want a contract for deed.
Congratulations on that.
Yep, I'm gonna say it. But our biggest thing is with that is my wife wants to be an interior designer.
Okay.
So I have 8 years of construction under my belt. I've built houses from the basements all the way up to the trusses, all the way up to the shingles. I'm working on getting my LLC right now to become a contractor so that we're going to rebuild the house and we're going to flip it. And then that money, I'm going to take the profit, roll it over into the next one. And ideally, we'd love to move around in different places and just kind of do that as our income. What's been holding me down more than anything, I think it's more on the health of my parents. My dad's like 64 years old.
Okay.
My mom has diabetes.
I know, yeah, diabetes running my family too. Yeah. So I know how that go.
Yep. So I'm always just kind of, my sisters are out doing their thing, raising their kids. My one sister has 5 kids. My other sister has 3. They're kind of doing their thing, and it's kind of, I feel like I've always been kind of like the rock that holds together my family with everything.
I respect that.
So like, I think that's a huge thing that's kind of held me back in the aspect of not just picking up and going. And then her family's here too, and our child is their first grandchild.
Yeah. So your parents are actually here.
Yeah.
So they out here.
Yeah.
When did y'all come to Marshall?
Man, so I was like, I want to say I was like 6 years old, 5 years old, somewhere around there. We came out here, and then my dad had a sister out here. And
so that's how y'all were kind of familiar already.
Yep. My dad asked him what it's like to raise kids out there, and she was like, "It's great. They can't get into no trouble."
It's hard. Yeah, it's hard out here.
Yep. So they brought us out here in the middle of nowhere, and then my mom used to, being, kids, parents get $1,000 for their kids during taxes and stuff. My mom would give me that $1,000.
Oh, okay.
And she would say, "Do as you want with it." Well, I'd buy the 2-way ticket to back to LA.
Yep. Because you're from LA.
Yep.
From LA.
So
what part of LA?
East LA, Whittier.
What you had on? Show that, bro.
Let's say.
Okay.
Whittier is where I'm originally from. So it's about 20 minutes from East LA.
East LA. Is that kind of close to Anaheim? Or?
Yeah, no, we're about like 2 hours away from that. It's about like we're like 15 minutes away from Compton.
15 minutes away from Compton? Okay.
Yep.
How close y'all is from Nipsey, where he kind of grew up at?
I was right down the block when he got shot. I heard the shots.
You was right out the block.
We actually got out of there the next day to come back out here. That was when I brought my wife out there with my son for the first time.
To visit, okay.
Yep, to go visit so that so my family could meet my child.
Yeah.
And literally, dude, don't say the hood was going crazy. It was nuts.
Crazy, man. Rest in peace, Nip, man.
Definitely.
I guess I'm wearing blue for a reason.
Hey, man. See, we grew up with a lot of Soreños, so blue or gray was kind of my color more than anything.
Red too, or no? Oh, no. What's
okay,
no.
Was,
so you should, okay, because the Nortes, those were the Norteños.
Yeah, nah. We grew up blue and gray. I'm saying even some like in Whittier, they kind of get upset if you're wearing blue. You want to wear gray and black for the Vatos Locos was a huge thing with who we grew up with. But I had uncles in Vatos Locos. I had uncles in Soreños. My grandma's brother was part of the Mexican Mafia. My whole family was I was born affiliated. But yeah, so like that was very big on my end. And like for the longest time, like you can even ask my wife, like that was instilled in my head. That like, oh man,
this is the way to be. Like
that's what it was. Yeah.
So like you said, you was affiliated. Y'all was doing y'all thing. What made you want to get out of it?
So
you're a married man now with a family,
living
in
big change. So I'm gonna tell you the story, and I'm gonna be honest with you. The only reason I'm able to tell this story is due to this last event that I went with this group. I have a mentor now who's been teaching me a lot of stuff and getting these thoughts out of my head to actually understand why they were in my head. At the age of 10 years old, I was selling drugs on the corner of Whittier Boulevard. Okay. There was a little 6-year-old boy. Okay. And being that I was born into affiliation, my name was talked about in the gang before I was even born. So by the time I was 6 years old, they were prepping me to be this leader. At the time I was at this corner, and there was this little boy. He was like 6 years old, right? And he came up because we were the boys on the hood, right? We were just out there on the corner, and he wanted to be a part of it.
Okay.
So he comes up, and being that I had the saying of where I was, And being as young as I was affiliated, it was nice to have someone close to my age because I was telling 15, 16-year-olds what to do.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say some even 20, 25-year-old guys had to listen to what I said.
You had it like that?
Yeah, dude. Like, this is a 10-year-old.
You had it like that?
This is a 10-year-old that literally had this sense of just like
some power.
It's what it was.
Yeah.
So this little boy comes up and he's like, "Hey, man, can I be here with you guys?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure, whatever." About 10, 15 minutes go by. I hear tires squealing in the back. And I'm like, "Hey, my flight instinct's starting to kick in." And I'm like, "Okay,
time to get up out of there." I know.
Yep. I'm watching. Next thing I know, shots started flying. I took off. Well, these shots that were aiming for me, killed this little boy.
Wow.
This little 6-year-old boy.
6 years old.
Yep. And so at that time, like, I didn't really like process things, right? I'd say
10 years old.
Exactly. It was another death. But I went to the funeral.
Okay.
I went and I told the parents this was my fault. Like, this is on me. And they looked me in the eyes and they told me, "We'll never forgive you because our boy will never be able to walk with us again." And so for me, that started to play an impact with me at a young age. But I didn't really put two and two together. Literally, the more I grew, the more power I had, and this more aspect of just me being at this top dog.
Mm-hmm.
But for me to be at that top dog, I had to do other shit.
Yeah.
I had to get other people involved. I had to get other things going. I had to make sure this was
market, huh?
I'm serious, bro. It was a whole thing.
Street economics.
Exactly. So literally, like, I ended up. I think it was. I wasn't officially like out till like, I want to say 15, 16 years old. I want to say is when I.
And you think that all kind of connect back to that boy getting hit?
Yeah, because that was one thought that I did not speak about. Literally, dude, I'm gonna be honest with you, this is like the fourth time I've told this story and not cried. Because it was something that just wailed so much on me. But it was different because there was this little 6-year-old boy. Who knows? He could have been the next president. He could have been the next governor. He could have, who knows what he could have been.
Mm-hmm.
And by the decision that I made at such a young age, I had to accept that. I had to come to an aspect of it. And so, like, for a while, I didn't realize really, like, why I was wanting to get out, why I was wanting to, because
didn't
like,
really know, yeah.
Yeah, and so then, like, honestly, I didn't really know for a while until, like, when I was like 16, 15 years old.
You being a father, and you married too.
Yep.
That's a whole different ball game now. So
I think it's been about like 5 years.
You've been married for 5 years?
Yep.
Congrats on that, man.
We've been together for going on 8.
Marriage is obsolete nowadays. People look for every reason not to get married, or, they take it for granted. We can go on that. That's a rabbit hole, right? But like, you being you a family man, how do you feel like when you teach them things? I'm sure you probably keep them far away from that stuff. Like, how is it? Like, do you?
So to me, I don't believe.
Know how you was growing up. Yeah. How does that affect your child?
I do not believe in the aspect of hiding. Mm-hmm. So I do not hide my past from my son. If he wants to know things, I'll gladly tell him. If he wants to understand it, I'll gladly explain it to him. But kids will always make their own decisions, no matter what it was. Because even my mom didn't want me to be affiliated, but she knew and understood that who I was and the placement that I was destined for it. And that was something where, for me, my dad wasn't really like around. Like, he was around, but he wasn't around. Like, he didn't care for me. He didn't really care for me.
Likewise, I mean, we it's the same revolving story.
Yeah, yep. And so, like, that was something for me. The only thing I ever really wanted to be was a good father. Being a father was the biggest thing, but one thing that I hated that my dad did was he tried to hide me from things. He tried to have me not have this understanding, which only pushed me to want
to understand and what is this all about.
Exactly. So, like, my biggest thing is my son's going to be 5 here in October.
Okay.
He's now just getting to that age where he asks questions and stuff like that. I'm never going to be in the aspect of, like, no, you can't know about my past. Because to me, if I would have known about, like, my uncle's past more than what they taught me, I think it could have changed the game a little bit for me. I think it would have gave me a different perspective to understand a different point of view than what I was being taught. Sometimes I kind of got to remember that he's still a kid And like
Yeah,
when I was
he
his
only
age,
5. Yeah.
exactly when I was his age, I was already getting groomed. Literally, I was officially affiliated by 7 years old. You know,
That's crazy.
like by 7 years old. Sometimes I get caught up in the aspect and don't realize that okay, my son's 5 years old. Okay, he didn't grow up the way I did in the aspect, and I need to remember
in
that.
Tyler, Minnesota.
Exactly, you know what I mean. A homeschooled in Tyler, Minnesota. I really have to adjust in the way that I've thought about things, in the way that I've been taught on things. My wife, she did not understand like really where I came from, and like a lot of people don't.
Probably until you took it out there to LA and actually showed her.
That's what it was.
With them blocks out there.
That's literally what it was. So like she kind of like realized a little more.
Seriously,
like this ain't no joke. Like this is legit. And like even some of my friends out here that like I've told these stories to, they kind of look at me with this like, come on, man, you know, like really, like, you know, and I get it all the time, and it ain't never a worry to me because
it's not,
because I've known what I've seen and I've known what I've had to do. But like for my wife, she really had to understand to get me and who I was a lot better.
That was like. So what year did you get married? So you said 5 years ago. So just what? That's what, 2018?
Yeah, I think 2018, 2019. Yeah. Something like that. I'm not good with numbers, to be honest with you. Babe, if you're watching this, I swear I know the date.
1921?
Wait, hold up. 2020 is when we actually officially got married.
Okay.
We've been together since like 2017.
2017.
8 years. We've been going on 8 years in December. That's what it was. Because we had 2 different dates that we got married. We got married on our anniversary date on the 10th of December in 2020. Just literally my sister was ordained. So it's literally me, my wife, my son, my sister, and then her brother, and then my best man. And we just went out and just
a small little
thing. Yeah. Yep. And then on 4/20 of 2022, this last year, we drove out to Washington State, and we did. I would say we did a whole like she had a wedding dress.
Oh, y'all did a whole ceremony.
Yeah, the whole 9 yards. We had my parents come out, her parents, my cousins.
That's nice.
You know, so that was kind of the whole thing. And it was like that river was right in the backyard of our Airbnb. We literally just did it at our Airbnb.
That's nice. I like that, bro.
And so like that was where we were at with it. And so yeah, We've seen some things together. Honestly, my wife, I used to be a heroin addict, and honestly, I'm going on now 8 years sober because I quit when me and my wife got together. And
so she's really been your rock, kind of, huh?
100%, dude. 100%. I will never speak bad about my wife. My wife has been through hell and back with me. She has had a lot of things. I was diagnosed with schizophrenia at 8 years old. I'm saying that was one thing she had to deal with me even more. And I'm not on medication. I don't believe in the medication because the medication only makes you it depresses you.
Yeah, it may help you, may depress you, kill dreams, kill your drive, all of that type of stuff. Like antidepressants and different things like that. It affects people differently. Yeah. Don't get me wrong.
And like my uncle, he was schizophrenic. My one of my aunts was schizophrenic, and so that was kind of where I watched them. They wouldn't get out of bed. They didn't want to do nothing. They just kind of like they were just blood. They didn't want to do nothing.
Damn.
Yeah.
So you got married at a young age. How'd you know that she was the one? Like, what clicked? Like, how'd y'all meet? Let me ask you that.
Oh man, okay, all right. So there's a kind of story for this.
She's from Minnesota.
So she's actually she's from the cities.
She's from Minneapolis.
Yeah. Okay. She's from the cities, and so we actually met in middle school. We were in the same TA class. And at the time, I thought I was this dog, right?
You know, you thought you was cool.
Hey, man, I'm telling you, man. One of the only Mexican kids in the school. I was like, sheesh, man, I'm the one. Yeah. And I walked up to her and I was like, hey, how's it going? Trying to be this little smooth talker. And she didn't even respond to me. She didn't even bat an eye. She literally just was like
you weren't even there.
Like literally, I was nothing. She
hit you with like sister, like Roger, like get out of here.
For real, dude. Like I'm serious. Like I was nothing. So I was like, whatever, forget you. I would put my dad. We later met. Was it sophomore year?
Okay.
It was my freshman year. Her sophomore year. Yep, I think so. She's probably gonna correct me on this. And we were at a party, and it was funny because I was with my ex. We were big drinkers at the time, so I was like, "Here you go, just a bottle for yourself. This is the first party she's ever been to, right?" It was one of the Ciroc bottles, right? Okay,
Rock bowl.
it was like that much gone, and she was just barfing left and right, left and right. And so literally, and so here's the thing, right? It was like we were there at the party for like 20 minutes, and she down there and she was just puking, just going, right? And I didn't even have my own car yet. I was in my mama's car. And so she was puking. I was trying to be a good boyfriend. I was kind of like feeling this girl, and I was trying to be a good boyfriend in the aspect of like being there for. I was like, man, we can just go home. Like, don't worry. Like, she's like, no, you stay there. You go out and have fun. I'm gonna just sit here. So she's puking outside the door of my mom's car. And once again, I was like, she said it, not me. I mean,
so did your thing, huh?
So I went out there and I was selling weed at the time and stuff. And one of my wife's friends came up to me and was like, hey, you got a dub, you got a dub. And I was like, yeah, here you go, and they did the thing. And then she was like, what, do you got like a blunt to roll it in? Mm-hmm. And I was like, all my blunts are in the air right now because I kept going to group and just, passing my stuff, doing my thing. And I was like, I don't. I was like, I got a bowl. Mm-hmm. I was like, I can give you guys the bowl. They're like, all right, yeah. And I recognized because she was with her friend, right? Okay. She was with my wife. And I was like, I'll give you guys this bowl, but I want this thing back. I was like, I don't want to lose this. This ain't something that you guys just get to keep. I'm like, it ain't roll like that.
So your wife now came to the party, and that's with her friend, and that's how y'all okay.
Yep. And so I told my wife, I told her, I said, if anything happens to this bowl, I'm coming to you. Yeah. I said, I'm coming straight to you. Coming to you. And so they were like, whatever, And it was funny because that party actually ended up getting busted. Okay. And so everybody took off running. I lost my bowl. Awesome. And so I think she hit me up actually on Facebook, and we just started talking. And it was funny because at the time, my ex, we were broken up, but like we were still like a fling. And so like I was kind of talking with her. I was like, why didn't you just give me your number that night? And she was like, why didn't you ask for it? And I was like, oh man,
here you go. First you ignored me. You didn't want to talk to me in school.
That's what I'm saying. Literally, that's why I was like, I'm not gonna ask.
They be playing hard.
All the time, man. And so she told me that, so I messaged her back. I was like, all right, girl, well, let me holler at you and get them digits. And so
you ain't say it like that.
100%, and just like that. And so she ended up giving me my number, and we started talking back and forth. And you asked like how did I know she was the one?
Yeah, how you know? Like, I guess it's different for everybody. But what was it?
So for me, it's crazy because like I was this dog at the time, and like when I first met her, it was
big dog, no little dog.
I'm serious, man. Literally, and she'll tell you this. I literally told her that, and she knows this now to this day. When I first got together with her, my intention was not to be together with her forever.
So you didn't see as much of.
I didn't see nothing, and then I got to know her, and the mindset she had is what told me. Because it was so different than any other, and I've been with a lot of women. I'll say it's not trying to brag, but like I was with a lot of women, and no woman had that same type of thinking that she did. The way she thought about things, the way she described things, the way she talked to me, the way she wouldn't allow certain stuff, and like I told her, I was like, I wanted you to have my kids, and I'm picky about that stuff. And with her, it was just literally the whole mindset that she had with everything.
Just different, huh?
Yeah, 100%, dude. I literally knew. I was like, because like I've had this point, like my podcast calls Joint Perspective, right? And like it's because I grew up in two different ways of life, and I have two different perspectives that come together that make me me. And my wife has a completely different perspective than I've ever met of anybody. And I was like, I want my kid to be able to have your type of thinking on stuff because I've never met anybody like it. It's the way she just carried herself, the way she talked about stuff. And that was where when I really just like, I knew, and I told her, I was like, even if you don't want to be with me forever, I was like, I want to be with you forever. If that's not what you want, I was like, that's cool, but we got to make this happen. I was like,
you weren't trying to let her go.
No way
at all.
There was no way. There was no way.
So it sounds like she just come off as this genuine, modest woman that just
100%.
Like when you define a woman, your wife comes up.
Definitely. But she's been through hell and back with me because not just that scenario, not just with my gang banging, not just with my drug addiction, not just with my schizophrenia, but the whole 9 yards of it. And then she's a stay-at-home mom, dude. She's a stay-at-home mom. She has no job. She takes care of my son, the whole 9 yards. And to be honest, that's the hardest job out there, dude. Talking to a 4-year-old, 5-year-old all day, every day, no matter what.
I used to work with kids. It can get strenuous sometimes.
100%.
It's beauty in it, you know. Because kids are just, man, they soak up everything. You want to be that leader in their life, you know. You probably even overthink things like, what should I say, what should I not say? And I love kids and having that, you know, connection that I did have when I was working with them. Or even in a while, there's a few that talk to me, you know, when I work out and stuff. So it's good to be that pillar.
Definitely, dude, because a lot of kids don't have that.
They don't have that.
And not just that, like if they go back home, some kids like they
going back to a worse situation than roaming the streets sometimes.
For real, dude, like for real. And
they're serious.
A lot of people ask me, they're like, why did you get in the gangs? Right? And for me, it was wanting a brotherhood. I had a brother who was 6'5", weighing at 350. He could have easily protected me from a lot of these people that beat me up. My brother didn't care. My brother just didn't.
So you didn't have that either.
So I wanted that role model. My dad didn't care. I didn't have family that in that aspect. I grew up with my 2 sisters, who my older sister took care of us because my mom was all doped out at the time. And so like that was very big in the aspect of like people ask me, why'd you go? I wanted a family. I wanted someone that I knew was gonna help me and protect me and keep me safe. And that's where I went further into the game. So yeah, dude, my wife, she's
seems like you got a good wife, man. That's beautiful to have.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? I wish y'all the best going forward, man. Just marriage is obsolete. No, like I said, nobody cares about marriages, man. People
I think
get married. They in there just for the clout, you know, just to post some pictures, IG, make it look like this happily ever after, and it ain't even none of that,
bro. I see, like, and that's the thing. Marriage is like the most unlike happily ever after ever. Like you have
today it really is titled that. Like I said, people are looking for reasons not to get married.
And see, and like that's the messed up part is like when you're married, okay, like it was funny, me and my coworker were discussing this, right? I didn't have my wedding ring on.
Okay.
I took it off one day and I was making homemade tortillas. So I took it off in that way and I forgot about it, right? And I went to work the next day without it. And it threw off my whole everything about me. Like wow. I didn't feel right. Okay. It wasn't right to me. And my coworker, she forgot her wedding ring, and she's married too. Okay. And she was like, unlike you, Joe, I feel free. And like, wow. And like, dude, like that's like it made me like think even more. And like, I'm not trying to bad talk her. She's a great woman.
Nah, but you're gonna make an example. Yeah, I want to hear it.
Like she was like she felt trapped in this way, almost is what it seemed like. Of
she
like
actually said that.
Yeah, and like that's the thing. Like when she asked me, she's like, "Why is it such a big deal for you to have your wedding ring?" I said, "Because I'm a happily married man." I said, I'm proud to be with my wife, 100%. And that's when she kind of was like, unlike you, I feel free without it. And like, and to me that, once again, that blew my mind because like it gave me more of an understanding of like people really don't take marriage as serious as what they should be. And it's like, dude, me and my wife, we both agreed, like if we would not be together anymore, we would not see anybody else. Like we both talked about it. We're like, we don't even feel comfortable in the aspect of talking to other people like that.
That's how
that's
how entwined y'all is.
100%.
That's what's up, dog. No, seriously.
It's and like that's the thing, dude. I never thought in my life I'd ever be like that.
Yeah, especially how you was coming up. Yeah,
I never, never, dude. Never did I ever think that I was gonna be a happily married man. Nor did I think I was gonna make it past 20 years old. And I've now been with my wife for 8 years, going on 8 years. And like to me, I'm never would take it back.
That's what's up. And then you got a kid too.
Oh yeah.
What's his name?
Milo with an H. Miloh.
Yeah. Why Milo?
So I wanted Cosmo. Koz.
No, that's just a we for a little big game banger. But check this out. I named my son Cosmo.
Listen, here's what it was. Kozmo is what I was. Man, everybody always tells me that, bro. They're like, "What are you gonna have, Cosmo and Wanda?" No, I'm talking about cosmos, like the
Like the cosmos. Okay.
in the sky, right? So Kozmo.
Not really.
Everybody did. And so I told my wife that when we were going through names, she goes, no. She would not in any way let me have it. So then I wanted Joe. I wanted a junior.
Yeah, you want
because so my name is Joe Carvajal William Jackman. Okay. And I was named after my great grandpa, whose name was Joe Carvajal Sanchez.
All right.
And so they gave me his name, Joe Carvajal, because he took Sanchez. So his parents got killed in World War II.
Okay.
And his name, Carvajal, was his last name originally, but he got adopted and took the name Sanchez. So he moved Carvajal to his middle name, and so it's Joe Carvajal Sanchez. Well, when I was born, my parents gave me Joe Carvajal, and then my dad's name is William Jackman. Okay. So they gave me my great-grandfather's name and my dad's name. So I wanted to have a junior to pass down that.
After the Cosmos name, didn't
Yeah, after that, I was really proud, man.
You heard about that?
Okay. That really bugged me. I was like, God, that's just such a cool name. How many kids, all right, since we're making fun of it, right? How many kids do you know named Cosmo?
Nah, I don't know no many. Y'all know anybody named Cosmo? Hey, comment in the comments right now.
I'm telling you.
Know who you know do.
I'm telling you, there's not kids out there named Cosmo. And if they're not named Kozmo. So we wanted a very unique name, right? And she was thinking, she's like, I've never heard anybody with the name Milo. She's like, I don't really know anybody with the name Milo. And I was like,
I've heard a few Milos.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I was like, all right, whatever, I was like, but if we do it, I'm like, it can't be spelled Milo. I'm like, nah. I'm like, we gotta do something different.
Like the Milo T?
Yeah, and so then I was like, okay, I always wanted like a silent letter in my name. Like I always wanted a silent
like lasagna. That wanted to be fancy.
That's what I'm saying. I wanted some silent letter in my name. So I was like, I don't even put an H on it. I was like, Milo, because like they're not gonna think about it like that.
Milo.
Yeah, it's not Milo. No. And so like that's why I was like, hey, let's put an H on this. This is gonna be cool. This is gonna be different, right? And the next thing you know, after he's born and we give him his name, there's like 4 or 5 Milos that came around the bay, and she's like, this name wasn't as like unique as we thought. And I'm like, Cosmo would have been definitely okay. And so like
I'm crying.
I'm telling you, man.
Hey, bro.
And so like so his name is Milo Carvajal William Jackman. And so she was able to let me have the middle name to pass down from my grandfather.
That's cool. That's cool, man. So I'm guessing you just love being a father.
Tenfold. The only thing I ever like, people ask me like, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" I wanted to be a father.
And that's kind of how I felt too. And that's not something. So like, I see what you mean. What do you want to be when you grow up? You really wore on your shoulders. Like, I want to be a great dad.
Yep.
Obviously, that comes with a whole story behind it, and I can relate to you on that. But yeah, I think about it all the time. When I become a father, like he's gonna know Taj is a part of his life from A to Z. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna be there to teach you, to groom you, to talk to you about God. To help you to understand it's more than what the eyes see. It's more than the tangibles, the intangibles, to put them on game. You know what I'm saying?
Tupac said it best: realize, realize, realize.
Realize. I like that.
Yep. Honestly, that was a thing. Like I have Tupac tatted on me because that was
okay. I see that.
That was very big. He was very big in my life with everything. Like and I have the words up here. Forgive me for my mistakes. I gotta play my hand, and that was from his song. What's it called? Of course, now it's gonna skip.
No, you gotta go look at that, man.
Yeah, I'll say Hellraiser. And at the time of the life that I was living, that was what I was.
That was it.
And people always judged me in the aspect of like the decisions I had to make. And I always tell people, I made a lot of decisions in my life, and some decisions I will never be able to get taken back.
Yeah.
But I can't hold on to that grudge. I have to forgive myself for the mistakes that I made.
You gotta have grace for yourself.
Exactly.
You gotta give yourself grace
because of the hand that I had that was placed in front of me. And so that's where, like, to me, that was where, like, I literally wear it on my sleeve because it was such a main important part of my life. And it's funny too, because people laugh at me because I got my LA side with Tupac, and then I got my Pittsburgh side with Mac Miller.
You a big Mac Miller?
Oh man, he saved my life, bro. This is the same P he had on his hand, the exact same one. And the
Yeah, he
same
did
place.
have that tattoo. That's right. That's right.
Yep. After he died, dude, I wanted to go and inject heroin because I was a shooter. And I wanted to, the only thing that was keeping me from that was the idea of, okay, what's something else that I could do? Or I could put a needle in my body, but what's another way?
Right, and just numb everything, huh?
So I went and I went to, this was my first tattoo on my hand that I got. I went to my guy. I said, what's the place that's going to hurt the most to get a tattoo? Because I just wanted to feel pain.
Right here.
And he told me, your hand. I said, cool. I already know what I want. Let's do it. And he literally had to give me a whole explanation of like, hey, if you're going to do this, make sure you know that doing this, there's a lot that comes with having hand tattoos. You need to understand that. And so I went, I said, I don't care. Let's do it. And so I did it. And, actually back in all my tattoos correlate. And so back in 2009,
it's all connected somehow, some way.
Definitely. I would say back in 2009, I wanted to commit suicide. And so I had the gun in my mouth at my mom's house. I was in my room.
Jeez.
Mom was upstairs. I was listening to Mac Miller, and the songs that came on, was the lyrics that saved my life was, your life's precious, ain't no need to go and kill yourself. And so, like I always say, like, he gave me my courage and he gave me my life because I was all in with it. I had the gun in my mouth. I was ready to pull the trigger.
And that song kind of,
those words popped up and they played in the background. I was like, I realized, like, what am I doing?
What am I doing?
I was like, I'm going to kill myself in my mom's house so my mom could come down and find me with my brain's blown out. I was like, what is wrong with me?
Yeah.
And like, I really got another like realization on things. So when he died, my wife was my rock on that time because I wanted to go use like crazy. And I had to come to the realization of how much I had these guys on such a pedestal.
Nah, that's a good realization.
Yep, I had to.
Because they're just normal and they're just human, just like us. They're not God.
Exactly.
Dang.
And I had these guys higher praise than what I did God at the time. And I used to go to church camps. I used to go do all this stuff.
See, I respect that. And the reason why I respect that, like, okay, you grew up a gangbanger. Okay, it happened. Like, you know, got friends who are in the gangs too. You know what I'm saying? Who was really thugging, you know? But I respect men and women of conviction. There's a lot of people that, you know, they can't respect realness. And once you speak some real and you inject that out into the world, or project that out into the world, or whatever conversation or whatever meeting y'all in, you're being judgmental. No, sometimes people need to hear the truth. Shut up and just listen to the truth.
Yeah.
You need help. I need help too.
Yep.
Plenty of times people told me, you don't know everything. You don't know it all. You know what I'm saying? Yep. I respect conviction in you saying, I had these people on this pedestal higher than God, and you know that order was out of order.
Yep.
You know, it ain't of God.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? And I respect that, man. And that's one of the things that really keep me humble, even though I got a mouth on me and I gotta humble myself. And that's probably something I've always dealt with. Being kind, because the odds always been against me.
Yeah.
The odds, even doing this, the odds been against me.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? My whole life. You know what I'm saying? People doubted me, you know?
I've told you my motto, gotta beat the odds.
You know, beat the odds. And that's what I'm all about. That's what Smack Talk is about. I'm talking my smack, not based on that type of smack talk, but my accomplishments, making impact, you know, having, you know, pivotal conversations. Somebody's gonna hear the story. This dude was thugging, real life gang banging, but I turned my life around.
100%.
I'm a family man now.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't grow up thugging, but I grew up fighting. Like you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Just hoping somebody would come and knock this chip off my shoulder.
Yep.
And I'm there now. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
It ain't nothing to be proud of, but understanding this is where I was at one point, and you still have those. You still have those fuses. You know what I'm saying? That you want to, you know, sometimes unleash, but you know there's a greater calling and a greater power
100%
than you.
You know,
and I look at the Lord as that, like,
definitely.
and conviction. I have the spirit of conviction.
Yep. See, and you said you're like it ain't nothing to be proud of. It's everything to be proud of.
Okay.
Because
let me hear your perspective.
That's one thing. It's everything to be proud of, to realize where you have came from, to understand where you were going.
Okay.
And so like you're right, the odds have always been stacked against you. Especially, I'm gonna be honest, you being a black male in this community, in this area, 100%. 100%. Because I get it.
You just brought me somewhere. Go ahead.
It's one of those situations where people get confused with cockiness and pride. There's a thin line between the two.
They are, yeah.
But your pride can easily be over your cockiness. Because cockiness, people who take you off as cocky just don't know much about you. So they judge you to not understand where you have came from, to have yourself held on that pride. Does that make sense?
I like that.
Like it's 100%.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
It's still a thin line.
Yep.
Because it can lead to a road of destruction.
100%. But you have to be able to have that control and have that faith. Because people get confused. Like, you know, some people don't believe in God. Some people don't believe in this stuff because they can't touch him. They can't do this. They can't do that. Well, listen, my Kenny Pickett ain't going to touch a Super Bowl ring yet, but I have faith that he is going to.
I got faith that he won't, bro.
see how
until it happened. I see where you're going.
Yeah, but it's that aspect of like
believing.
100%. Having that sense of faith in not just in yourself, not just in maybe a football team, maybe it's in becoming a father, maybe it's in whatever it is. It's having that faith of understanding that even though my GPS, and it's funny, my mentor talks about this all the time. My GPS may not have everything on my radar of how it's going to happen, but the stuff around me that I can't see is going to force it to make it happen. And it's having that faith that these effects around me, around my radar, is going to help push me to be put on my radar so I can achieve, those goals or desires. And don't get me wrong, there's action that needs to be taken place with it. You got to be able to know certain things and go in certain places with it. But like my motto, my whole life was to beat the odds. When you beat the odds, people look at it as a sense of cockiness because they were never placed with those odds in order to know the pride that it took to get over those odds.
They'll never know. You know, I come from a single parent household, 3 brothers. It was 4 of us. Oh, 4 siblings. You know, but my mama, so it's 5. You know what I'm saying? We weren't supposed to make it out.
Definitely.
We come from New Orleans, man. Moved to California. It ain't the suburbs there. I ain't never lived in the suburbs a day in my life. You know what I'm saying? Everywhere I've been, it's been hard. Even coming here for college has been hard.
Oh, 100%.
You know?
100%. I can only imagine being here in this college, in this farmers community.
Yeah.
That what it is. That's why, like, you see me now, I dress with a suit and tie. And the whole reason is because how many people want to hand their keys to a Mexican kid that's tatted up?
Yeah, especially with the hand tats. You know what I'm saying?
No, nobody.
You know, and don't get me wrong. There's some people that have accepted me here, and there's some people that have accepted you here as well. And I respect those people, and
100%.
I love those people. But I get what you're saying. You're hitting it on the point. I remember back in 17, you know, after I got my scholarship to come out for football, and I was talking to 2 older cats, and they was trying to put me on game, just like, oh, where you from? Oh, yeah, I'm from New Orleans, Louisiana, and you know, come here, you know, playing defense, whatever. I'm a loudmouth. Everybody know already.
You're on defense. You gotta be.
And I'm on defense, and I'm a smack. I like the, you know, content. I like the hit, man. So I'm talking to them. They chopping it up. I'm chopping it up with them, and they're like, "Well, you in Marshall, man. Whatever you do, make sure you just get in, do your thing, and get out." That's all I heard. Get in and get out. These people not going to accept you. There's no real market for people like us here. They were 2 black guys too. There's no market for people like us. And I hear them, you know, and I never took it as a form of like disrespect or them hating because they didn't know who I was. And then fast forward today, I'm doing ads for my company or the company that I work for. You know, I've been promoted as a senior leasing specialist now. And doing these ads, going to the radio station, talking to all these different companies. I've expanded Marshall.
100%.
Like I'm in a metropolitan type of city. And my CEO of the company respects me, and he told me the first day I met him, he shook my hand and he said, I have a feeling you're gonna do great things for this company. And this is a couple months ago. And you could say, yeah, you get that from all your bosses and
But
CEOs, right?
you can
But
feel the
it
difference.
was a little bit different. It was a little bit different. And as we started talking, got a little bit more closer, and he seen more talents. He would rave about me in meetings in front of like all of our different sites, at these meetings. And I'm just taking it all in, and I'm like, just seeing how God is blessing me, you know, it came at a price though. I lost so many friends. You know what I'm saying? I done lost people who I thought was like family, and they not really here. And I'm like, all right, God, I've been through it before. It ain't nothing different. It's just
It is what it
different,
is.
different day, same-ish, different toilet, right?
Yep.
And I'm like, God, you bless me. I created a market for myself for me here. You know what I'm saying?
100%, dude. Because like that's like 100%. I feel that.
Like, no, for real.
I feel that, bro.
From the podcast, from playing football, from the faculty at SMSU. I remember I went there, and the cafeteria lady, she came up to me. I was doing some marketing there, and she said, seeing you was like a breath of fresh air. I miss y'all. I miss seeing you with all the other guys talking sports when y'all would come in before y'all would go to practice.
Yep.
Completely different from you. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Don't talk the same, don't walk the same. Our lives don't coexist unless we make it coexist.
100%.
Find somewhere to relate. And it always made, and so even now today, the more it makes me reflect on having that conversation with those two guys at SMSU, telling them, and they told me, when you graduate, leave. I've been here since I graduated. I've been here since 17, and God is constantly blessing me.
100%.
And that's where that chip enlarges. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? Where I know it's God, and I know, because faith without works is dead. So I know I'm working. I know God is for me. I know the Lord is for me. And it makes me feel unstoppable.
Yeah.
Because people told me to get in here and get out.
Yep.
I'm making more money than I ever have.
Yeah.
My bills are paid. Whatever the case may be, but I'm flourishing here in a small town of 14,000 people.
Yep.
There is nobody else like me here.
100%.
Ain't nobody else like you here, Joe.
100%. 100%.
You gotta use that to your advantage,
dude. And like that's been like,
and not take it for granted.
Never, never. See, like, and that's like been one thing for me. Like my job, right? It's opened up a lot of opportunities for me because like. So here's one thing, right? I laugh about this because like if I go out to like the stores, right?
Yeah.
They don't notice me. If I dress like this and I walk out there, I can tell you everybody's car that I've worked on. I've done this, I've sold this, I've done there, I've done that, right? Like, my job has opened up a lot of opportunity for me in different ways because like I dress very formal. I'm very this upstandard gentleman. But like before my job, I'm gonna be honest, man, I didn't know a damn thing about cars. Not one little thing. I knew to get my oil changed, and I did it myself.
Yeah.
And I knew to put gas in the thing. That was
get the tires.
Yeah, that was it. And like so, it gave me a whole nother perspective on that. And then like. So I've mentioned my mentor here. I'm gonna give him a shout out, Mitch, and the group that he has got me a part of is called Self-Perfected. Okay? Self-Perfected. Okay. Yo. And it's not in the aspect of being perfect. It's about perfecting yourself in the best possible ways that you can. And one thing that these people, they have given me such a it's crazy. They've given me such they're the reasons why I stopped smoking. They're a huge reason on why I got sober. They helped me understand the realization of what I was using it for, what I was trying to block out. And not just that, they gave me the opportunity to speak in front of 150 people. And I've always my biggest dream was to be a motivational speaker.
Okay.
To talk about the aspect of like the things that I've came from and the things that I've overcome from, just like you said, like going from a gangbanger to having a life, a family, a house, and this aspect of it all. And they took me in. They took me in under their wing, and I would have never had that sense of etiquette to understand how to be like that if it wasn't for the opportunity that my job has given me to dress better, to be better, and to understand different perspectives on things. And even in the aspect of like diffusing, like how we first met, right? Like this is our first time ever actually meeting up outside of my job.
Yeah.
And look, we've been going on for what, an hour and a half?
Going on out, something like that.
Really, dude, like it's been a good convo.
Good experience,
like,
yeah.
It's been great. And like I would have never had this opportunity if I would have never had that job. I would have never met you if I would have never been at that job.
IAC, it's all connected.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. And so like, it's crazy because like a lot of people think like, I had uncles that moved out here that were on my dad's side and they ended up leaving. And they're like, we got to get out of this small town,
Same conversation, yep.
Like literally. And so like, that was one thing for me where like, you to relate back, you asked me on the aspect of like, what's keeping me here. There's a lot more opportunity out here than what people realize.
They realize.
Like, bro, like I'm paying $450 a month to buy my house, bro. To buy my house. Now, mind you, in the town I live in,
mortgage
it's 1,000 people, right? I live in a town.
Tyler, lot of small towns out here.
It's nothing but small towns out here.
What, Tyler about 20, 30 minutes away from
about 30 minutes away.
1,000 people.
24 miles, 1,000 people at most. At most. That's not
1,500.
Nah. That's way too much, man. That's way too much. There's no way there's 1,500 people there.
Yeah.
And so like, it's one of those things where like, I'm thinking, so like the group that I'm in, they're called Self-Perfected, and they have these tools that help you understand about yourself and about self-trauma and about other things with it. And like one of the things it's called Techno Tutor. Okay. Techno Tutor. Okay. Yep. And it's literally a social education system designed to help you rethink the way to help you reprogram the way you have been taught to think. To
think going. Okay.
So like how society has trained you to believe, hey, you want to go to college, you want to get a job, you want to do this, you want to do that, get all this loans, get all this debt, all this stuff.
The American dream,
Exactly. When I went out to San Diego and I was there, I met this 7-year-old kid. His name is Max.
That's okay.
Smartest kid I've probably ever met. I'm dead serious. I say that with confidence, bro. Yeah. This kid is so smart, dude. He comes up to you, he goes, "Hi, Joe. My name is Max." And we got all name tags, right? And he goes, "What kind of car do you drive?"
Okay.
And I'm like, "It's a 2011 Chevy Silverado." And he goes, "Is it gas or diesel?"
I don't know how to answer that.
It's a gas. It takes gas, and he's like, "Oh, that's pretty cool. Do you know what kind of engine's inside of it?" 7 years old, asking me these questions, right? And then, so besides that, right, I have him on Facebook and stuff because I'm friends with all these guys. They're very warm and they're very like social. Like I go up to my, I just went so that's why I couldn't do it last weekend.
Okay.
It was because I went up to my mentor's house, up in Elko, New Market.
Okay.
And we went up there, and he holds these benefit things. No money, nothing like that. It's just in the aspect of getting communities together to be together like an actual community. And so, like, he rented a bounce house. He had a slip and slide. He had all this food there. We were grilling, and like people like I never met before were sitting there talking, just having good times. And then like with the people that were there, dude, have you ever been up to like 3, 4 in the morning just playing games? No drinking, I'm saying no smoking, nothing like that.
Yeah, man.
I never in my life.
Never. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. No, but never in my life have I ever stood up with a group of people and not been drunk or high and having a fun time playing games and like just doing like we played volleyball, bro. I'm not even good at volleyball, but now I found out I'm actually pretty damn good at something. Like, don't mess with me. Like I was out powering ball. Man, and like that was the thing. Like for me, it was the craziest thing ever because I would have never met these people if I would have never been out here. Because my mentor's wife is how I got associated with all this. We went to the same church camp growing up.
Okay.
And one day I seen they were talking about this Techno Tutor stuff and all these things about these kids, these homeschool kids that are achieving all these goals and all this stuff. And I finally just one day reached out. I was like, what is this Techno Tutor? What is this stuff that you guys are talking about? And she's like, I'm going to put you in contact with my husband. Okay, cool. And so her husband reaches out to me. This guy, well fit, has a suit, glasses, very upkept gentleman.
Yeah.
He even will tell you, he's like, he didn't have the hardest life, but his he had his parents were in the house, they had a roof over their heads, had a pretty decent house. The whole 9 yards in that aspect, right? But he'll tell you about how, like, even still, he felt like something was missing, right? And he reached out to me and we started talking, and he drove 4 hours out of his way to come out here, and little Tyler, after I had my surgery, to talk with me. And I would never had that opportunity if I didn't go to church with his wife. If I didn't go to that church camp with his wife and had her on Facebook the way I did for all these years. It's been years. We were like, my mom, after I started getting really affiliated, going back and forth, like she put me in church camp. Like she was like, "Oh, like
you need
God." And you're like, I was really what she was like. And so I went to this church camp, and she was cool people. Like she was just genuine, like just cool, energetic, wonderful person.
Yeah.
And he came out here, and I think about it because it's like we talk about how people tell us, like, small, small Marshall, small Tyler, or small towns. Like, why do you still want to be here? And it's like, ideally, I would love to be like an In-N-Out burger or like Rick's Burgers or
like cream up the street.
Yeah, man. You know what I mean? Like some place good, not McDonald's, not I'll take
I had Taco Bell in so long.
Yeah, bro, I don't even eat Taco Bell. I don't eat Taco. It's 5 years. Marshall literally ruined Taco Bell for me, and my wife hates it because she loves Taco Bell. Yeah, but literally, I will not eat at the Marshall Taco Bell. Nah, bro. I'll go there and I'll let her do her thing, but I will not eat at the Marshall Taco Bell. It's nasty. It's gross, and it's not hard to make a taco. Okay, I make fresh homemade tortillas in my tacos every time I have tacos. All right, and I do not forget to put lettuce. How the hell you forget to put lettuce on? One time I had just lettuce in mine and no meat. No meat. What is that? How do you do? Okay, and like I get it. Some people they hate their jobs and they hate their life, but it's like you're gonna hate your life and your job even more going in with that kind of an attitude towards it. And if that's the case, I don't want you making my food. You know what I mean? Like, nah, man. But it's like none of those opportunities would have ever been around if I didn't stand out as much as I did. If I wasn't just a one of a kind person the way I was in this area, I would have never had these opportunities the way I did. Given those opportunities, being in this small town, I was in such a small community and I stood out so much that I was able to give me the chances. Yeah. And I wasn't just like in California, another number. Another person, just another category. Yeah, and that was very big for me. Mind you, there's been trials and tribulations in this area. Always is, always is. But
you already know that
exactly. But it's one of those things where it's like they only make you better. Every thing that's said in front of you, everything that's said against you, it only makes you better. And like being in these small towns, I would have never met my wife. Would have never met my mentor. Yeah. Would have never had the job opportunity that I am now. I would have never done any of that stuff. Personally, I didn't even think I'd be alive if I would have stayed in my area.
Nah, I feel you, man. Yeah. Being out here is definitely like you said, it's been ups and downs and all of that. I've had some moments here, man. If I shed all of them, we'll be here until the end of time. You know what I'm saying, bro? But yeah, a lot of ups and downs, but more up, I would say, than it has been down. And I'm grateful for what God has been doing in my life. So it's hard not to be cocky and not to be a loudmouth when when you got God on your side and you made something out of nothing. Yeah. I've heard that so much. There ain't nothing here for me, but nah, I don't want to hear that. Yeah. I'm a Swiss Army knife.
100%.
I'm gonna create the market. This is my market.
Yep.
This is my market. Drone work, videos, editing. Now I get to help people find housing, and I get to, work on my talents and my skill set that I went to school for. My CEO seen that and was like, "We're gonna use multiple areas. Yep. You have it. You. Why wouldn't? There's nobody else like you here.
Why wouldn't they?
And why wouldn't you know what I'm saying? Yep. Now it could have been on some other. You know what I'm saying? It could have been the stereotype of we don't. Yep. But it hasn't been that. Yep. Footsteps really have been ordered. You know what I'm saying? They still are being ordered. And
see, like
in Marshall, Minnesota,
for real,
this is all happening.
One thing our group talks about in Self Perfected is, so when I was at this group place, right, they had us all close our eyes, and they said, if you can't be grateful for anything, be grateful for this. We are alive. Yeah. We are awake. And we are creators. And we create every opportunity we are ever given in life.
We create them.
100%.
Yeah.
And some people, I think, forget on how powerful us as human beings really are.
People really do forget how powerful we really are.
100%.
It is like, this might take us for a loop, but you know, there's a scripture that says, you know, that talks about like you're made in my image.
Yep.
You know, and you know that we have alien talk and all of this, and it's just like, if aliens are real, that's cool, right? He could probably sit here and be on Smack Talk podcast, but the words say, "I'm made in His image." You're made in His image, not the angels, not the devils of the world,
Yep.
not these aliens. Us humans
Yep.
are made in the Lord's image.
See,
and I think when you take that scripture and you really let it hit you, it gives you a whole new power and perspective on the things that you really can accomplish.
well,
And it goes back to, like, I don't want to take meds.
yep.
No. I got the grace of God on my life.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? I don't want to do it.
See, like, and you talked about how He made us in His image, right? Well, what did God do?
Mm-hmm.
He created the world.
He created the world.
And what can we do? Create every opportunity
in the world.
That's it.
No matter what card is given to us.
Whether it's good or bad, good, happy, sad, mad, angry, we create those opportunities.
The odds are stacked against us.
Yep.
There's still opportunities to be made.
Exactly. You could sit there and be like, man, you know, these people ain't going to give me a job. These people ain't going to do this. People are going to do that. Well, that just created a better opportunity for you to go out and find a better job than what they were offering.
Like
that's
change your mindset.
100%. Change the mind on the way they think. You create that opportunity for them to see you different.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, once again, people get so distracted in life by everything. I mean, all the whole things of the world that is going on. It's such a scary place. It's a scary thing going on.
Yep.
But people forget that you can create a better opportunity for yourself. Like, for me, like, a huge thing for me is creating a better opportunity for my son.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, it circles back to that whole aspect of being a father, creating a better opportunity for my wife.
Mm-hmm.
My wife's a stay-at-home mom.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she doesn't get much in that aspect of out of the house. She don't really have friends like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't either.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I don't, man. I go to work. I go home to my wife. I go to work, go home to my wife and son. That's about it. I got a couple friends that I talk with now. Some Snapchat buddies that I talk with.
Yeah.
But, like, other than that, I don't see in the opportunity always of even creating friends.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something for me I've been working on.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, when you offered for me to come out on here, man, I was like, there's an opportunity.
Yeah.
I think that's a great opportunity, not only to be on somebody else's podcast.
And you got your own.
100%.
Shout out to him. You got his own. Y'all check him out, man.
Joint Perspective, baby.
You on YouTube?
Yep.
Okay.
YouTube.
Okay.
I do YouTube. I do lives on Facebook. I got
at, man. You can't let the people
it's
know.
literally at the Joint Perspective. That's it.
Joint Perspective.
At
y'all
Joint Perspective.
Y'all give him a follow.
Because that's always been the biggest thing, is, like, you know, and then for me, having different views on life, I feel like it's only right for me to go ahead and share those views. You know, because everybody gets so blinded, and I think everybody gets caught up in this.
Yeah.
Everybody gets caught up in this, and nobody wants to actually have conversations, meetups, talks.
That's why I like having Smack Talk podcast, because it's about, you know, game of life.
Yep.
My life is different from yours. Yours is different from mine.
100%.
But we've met a common ground.
For real. Who would have ever thought?
You know what I'm saying?
Who would have ever thought at Cruise Motors I would have met somebody that was like, man, this guy's cool.
Hey, quick story. I remember I came in there. You weren't there, man. I'm like, hey, when Joe ain't there, I already know I'm about to walk into some bullshit. I walk in there. I'm like, yeah, I'm coming to get my car washed, but just make sure y'all take the license plates off. The last man, you know, I was referencing you, and said that, you know, the workers, they got to take the license plates off so it don't break again unless y'all.
We're going to pay for another one. That's it.
Did you buy the car from here?
That's just.
I'm looking at it, I'm like, my keys got the Cruise Motor sign. I'm at Cruise Motors. And who would have that much guts?
The audacity.
The audacity. Yeah. The audacity, you know, to take their car to a random dealership talking about, yeah, I get free car washes for life.
Like, they played the balls.
You know,
they're like, screw it.
And I was like, nah, I bought it off Craigslist.
Oh, his face, I wish I could have seen his face.
And I was like, man, yeah, I bought the car from here. All right. Yeah, I'm like, yeah, I bought the car from here. What you think, bro?
Oh, I wish I could have seen his face. I would have paid money to see his face.
You know what I'm saying?
I literally would have paid money to see his face.
Bro.
Just to see the expression on it. Look, dude, I have people in my lube bay that know your car, that know, hey, I'm supposed to take the license plate.
They know when
Yeah.
I come out, the two young cats that
Yep.
there,
Yep.
they screw that bad boy all, they get to it,
Yep.
man.
I
You know
tell
what
them
I'm
every
saying?
time. I've taught them with your vehicle specifically. I'm like,
Yeah.
hey, y'all see that vehicle? You guys know the license plates come off it, because if it breaks again, because it was so hard to find
I know.
your Saints license plate, man. I swear you would never find another like it, because I don't even think we got the same exact one.
Y'all couldn't even get the
Yeah,
same one.
we literally, we couldn't even get the same exact one. We had to get a different Saints one. I'm like, man, this guy will just be happy with a Saints license
That's it.
plate. I'm like, I just
That's it.
get him a Saint license plate. That's it.
That's it.
And like, for real,
Checking
man.
every other day. Like,
Yo, I remember, because I was telling him too. I was like, dude, he keeps calling me. Like, we gotta find this. We gotta find this. And I kept telling my boss, my brother-in-law, I'm like, hey, they're not finding something. Can I go on Amazon and see if I can find it? He's like, yeah, just get it done and over with. I said, okay, cool, perfect. That's when I pulled the trigger on it. I went, I was like, hey, this one we're ordering. Now, I told my parts guys, I don't even care what kind it is. This is the one we're ordering. This is what it's going to go with. And he's going to be mad at me or he's going to love it. I don't know what it's going to be, but we're going to go with it.
It's still on the car today.
Hey, man.
Still on the car. I appreciate you,
I'm
Joe.
glad to hear. I'm glad to hear.
Man, but yo, it's been fun, man. We're gonna wrap this show up. We've been talking for like 80 hours now. I love it, and I appreciate you coming. You didn't have to.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all definitely give him a follow. Check him out on social media. What
Joint perspective.
Joint perspective.
Having two perspectives on life, and both of my perspectives' lives joining together to make a joint to give people different perspectives.
Y'all hear him, man?
So sad.
The doctor over here. Y'all hear him, man? He dissected it like that.
Got connect them, man.
Yeah, connect the dots. And it ain't hard to connect it. You know why? Because it's all connected.
Exactly.
Man, Joe, I appreciate you coming on the show, man.
Thanks for having me.
It was a good conversation. Learned a lot from you, man. Hopefully the viewers took a couple nuggets from the two of us, and they can apply to their life. And hey, man, create their own joint perspectives. You know what I'm saying?
Man. That's the
their
key
own
to
smack
it.
talk.
That's the key to it, man. That's the key to it. Don't be afraid. You got to jump out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
You got to start whatever it is, whether it's a podcast, whether it's going live on Facebook, whether it's starting your own Facebook group, whatever it is. Just go out and do it. Don't try to make oh man, I got to do this. I got to do this. Just do it.
Yep.
Just do it. Like literally, man, I don't even have as good of a setup as you. Honestly, I do it with my phone. As I have my light. I set my phone up, have my background, and I do it like that. And I don't mess up. I can't mess up. Honestly, because I can't cut an auto. I just go with it. That's it. If I mess up, it's on there. So
if you ever need some help, holler at me, bro. I got you, man. I got you.
Next time I'll have to put you on mine once I get.
Yeah, man. Let me know. Let me know, man. And I'll be down to do that one day. All right. Joe, I appreciate you, my dog. Appreciate you coming to the circle, man.
Time.
You feel me? So this is episode 7, y'all. I don't know when I'm gonna be back, cause a lot of business on your boy plate. You know what I'm saying? A lot of things I gotta do. But we're gonna be back soon. Don't miss me. I'm gonna be back.
Episode 7. Don't forget it.
You know what I'm saying? This is episode 7. Is it 7? 8? It's 7. I think it's 7.
We're gonna go with 7.
Yeah, I think this is episode 7.
7. My mentor hates the number 7, so we're gonna go 7. He gonna love that.
I appreciate you, Joe. I'm gonna catch y'all next time, man. It's your boy Smack, and y'all watch episode 7 of Smack Talk Podcast. We out.